All right, let's talk about a skill that is, no joke, a total game changer for how teams work and come up with new ideas. We're going to dive into what's called the facilitator's edge and how you can actually master this idea of collaborative leadership. So, first, just a quick question. Be honest with yourself. When you look at your calendar and it's just packed with meetings, do you get a sense of, yes, we're getting stuff done? Or is it more of a sinking feeling? Do those meetings actually push things forward, or do they just kind of happen? Look, if you're feeling a little frustrated, you are definitely not alone. It's so common for meetings to fall into the same old traps, right? A brilliant idea gets mentioned once, and then poof, it's gone forever. The conversation goes completely off the rails, you end up hearing from the same two people over and over while everyone else is quiet, and the absolute worst, you walk out of the room with no clear decision, no clue what's supposed to happen next.
But what if there was a better way? Well, there is. And this is where we introduce the facilitator's edge. And I want you to think of this less as just another soft skill and more like a legit leadership superpower for today's world. It's something that can completely change the results you get from any group conversation.
So, what are we really talking about when we say facilitation? Well, it's the skill, really it's an art, of guiding a team. It is not about having all the answers yourself. It's about creating a process, a structure that lets the team tap into its own collective brain power, bring all those different viewpoints together, and actually create something new.
This slide really makes it crystal clear. On one side, you have the traditional director. This leader, directs. They control the conversation, they provide the answers, and they push everyone toward a conclusion they've probably already decided on. But then, look at the facilitator. This is a whole different game. They don't control, they guide. They don't give answers, they ask really powerful questions. They're like a catalyst, sparking ideas in others instead of just handing them down. It's a massive shift in thinking.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, all right, this sounds good, I'm sold. But how? How do I actually do it? Great question. Let's pop open the hood and look at the core skills you need for your very own facilitation toolkit. It really breaks down into 4 key steps. First, you've got to create the right environment. This means a space where people feel safe enough to share those half-baked ideas and think out loud. Second, you have to get good at asking powerful questions, the kind that really make people think and steer the conversation somewhere meaningful. Third, and this is huge, you gotta manage the group dynamics, making sure the quieter folks have just as much of a voice as the louder ones. And finally, and this is crucial, you have to maintain focus. You're the one who gently keeps bringing the discussion back to the main goal, pushing toward real, actionable results. Now, when you start getting these skills down, the results are, well, they're pretty incredible. This isn't just about having less boring meetings. It's about getting completely different outcomes. Let's look at how you get from just talking to actual innovation. So the first big win? You unlock ideas that were probably always there, just hidden under the surface. See, in a well-facilitated space, creativity isn't left to chance. You can use simple, structured techniques to make sure everyone's brain is in the game and the best ideas don't get left on the table. But look, a big pile of awesome ideas isn't enough, is it? The next critical step is alignment. A good facilitator helps the team see how all those different perspectives actually connect. It's about weaving individual thoughts into a single, shared vision that everyone can get behind. And that brings us to the ultimate goal. When you pour all those unlocked ideas through the filter of team alignment, you get the fuel for real innovation. This is where all that talk turns into something you can actually touch. A new product, a smarter process, a breakthrough solution to a tough problem. This quote just nails it. A catalyst, right? It's something that makes a chemical reaction happen, but it isn't consumed by it. As a facilitator, that's you. You're the catalyst. You don't create the innovation all by yourself. You create the conditions that allow the team to create it together. It's a beautiful thing. So we're gonna end right back where we started with a question for you. In your next meeting, your next project, that next moment where you have a chance to lead, what's it gonna be? Are you gonna be the director, the one with all the answers, or are you gonna be the facilitator, the one who empowers your team to find them? Will you direct or will you facilitate? The choice is all yours.